Have you ever wondered how Rome became the greatest empire in history? It wasn't just luck. Rome had a secret, strategies so advanced for their time that they're still studied today. But who made it all happen? The legendary Roman generals, the masterminds behind every epic victory. They expanded Rome's reach like no other army in history and left us with powerful lessons about leadership, bravery, and turning challenges into triumphs. In this video, you'll uncover the top 10 greatest Roman generals of all time and their most jaw-dropping achievements. Get ready, what you're about to hear will completely change the way you see Rome's history. Let's start with the first one. But here's the kicker, he wasn't just a general. He was a tactical genius who managed to defeat Rome's greatest rival, the infamous Hannibal, in a battle that seemed downright impossible to win. Now, picture this scene with me, October 19, 202 BC. Rome's fate hangs by a thread. On one side, Scipio, leading a smaller army but brimming with unshakable confidence. On the other, Hannibal, the man who had defeated Rome time and time again, commanding battle-hardened veterans and terrifying war elephants. What would you do in this situation? Scipio had a plan so daring that, if it worked, it would change the course of history. And guess what? It worked. He won the famous Battle of Zama, humiliated Hannibal, and secured Rome's supremacy. But here's what they don't tell you, this victory wasn't just over Carthage. It was a triumph over fear, doubt, and the limits everyone thought Rome had. Scipio proved that with the right strategy, even the biggest challenges can be conquered. And the most fascinating part? This is just the beginning. In this video, you'll meet other generals who propelled Rome to its peak, each with stories as epic as Scipio's. Every victory holds secrets, and every secret has something to teach us. Now, here's a challenge, can you guess which other generals made the list? Or better yet, what strategies they used that could even apply to your life today? Stick with me until the end of this video, because when you hear about the general who made it to the top 3, your perspective on power and leadership will never be the same. And there's more. In our next video, we're unveiling one of the greatest secrets in Rome's history. Something so impactful, the Romans themselves went to great lengths to hide it for centuries. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and get ready for this journey through power, strategy, and the secrets that shape the world. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow the channel. That way, we can reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Let's crush this together. Now it's your turn, which Roman general inspires you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to know what you think. Oh, and if you enjoyed this content, share it with someone who loves history too, because big discoveries deserve to be shared, right? Have you ever imagined what it would be like to face an army with 80 war elephants ready to crush everything in their path? Sounds like something out of a movie, but that's exactly what happened at the Battle of Zama, a clash that changed the course of history. On one side, Hannibal, Carthage's military genius, on the other, Scipio Africanus, the strategist who flipped the script with a plan so bold, no one thought it could work. Scipio turned fear into victory and secured Rome's dominance over the Mediterranean. But don't think it was easy. Hannibal had battle-hardened veterans, terrifying elephants, and a reputation for being unbeatable. What did Scipio do? He turned the tables in such an incredible way that this battle is still studied today. And wait until you hear how trumpets and traps saved Rome from a humiliating defeat. Now, imagine what happened after that victory. Rome didn't just win the war, it started conquering territories like never before, becoming the superpower we know today. But what no one tells you is how this victory marked the beginning of something much bigger, and it involves another legendary name, Gaius Marius. Here's the translated text into American English, incorporating cultural nuances, conversational tone, and proper punctuation. And here's the question that's going to hook you: how did one man manage to completely transform the Roman army and prepare Rome to become the greatest empire the world has ever known? Gaius Marius didn't just open the military ranks to the poor, something unthinkable at the time, but introduced reforms so groundbreaking they turned soldiers into literal war machines. Did you know they were nicknamed Marius Mules because they carried all their own equipment? That's not just a fun fact, it's a lesson in how vision and leadership can change everything. Now, here's the real kicker: Marius was elected consul 7 times. That's something no one had ever achieved before. Why? Because every time Rome faced a crisis, he was the guy they called to save the day. He faced invaders, internal turmoil, and in the process, helped Rome transition from a republic to the empire that would shape the world. Did you know Rome almost fell into the hands of Germanic tribes? The Eternal City was nearly wiped off the map. But 2 men changed Rome's fate forever: Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla. These 2 generals defied all odds with their brilliant strategies, and a boldness you wouldn't believe. Picture the moment. The Germanic tribes, the Teutons and the Cimbri, are marching toward Italy, confident that nothing can stop them. They planned a 2-pronged attack, a strategy that seemed impossible to beat. Enter Gaius Marius, a general known for his revolutionary ideas and fearless courage. He sets up an ambush in the Alps, meticulously studying the Teutons' every move. And when the perfect moment strikes, he unleashes an all-out assault. The result? 100,000 invaders killed. This victory ensured that Rome remained untouched. But here's the detail no one tells you: Marius didn't stop there. He reformed the Roman army, allowing poor men to enlist while simultaneously making soldiers more effective. That's when they earned the nickname Marius Mules, for carrying all their gear on their backs. Genius, right? Sulla, from nobody to supreme dictator. But wait, it gets even better. Let me tell you about Lucius Cornelius Sulla, the man who went from nothing to the very top. He made his mark during the Jugurthine War, where he captured Jugurtha, the king of Numidia, without even fighting. Sulla negotiated with the king of Mauritania and brought Jugurtha to Rome without spilling a single drop of blood. This left the Senate in awe and cemented his reputation. But what really makes Sulla unforgettable was his rivalry with Marius. When Marius tried to take command from him, Sulla did the unthinkable: he marched his army on Rome. That had never happened before. Sulla forced Marius to flee and seized control of the city. But when Marius returned to reclaim power, Sulla wasn't about to let it slide. He marched on Rome again, this time to settle the score once and for all. Here's your text translated into American English with cultural references, a conversational tone, and proper punctuation. The outcome? Sulla was named absolute dictator, ruling Rome with an iron fist and implementing reforms that shaped the future of the Republic. If this is resonating with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If you've got a different take, share your opinion by commenting 0. Let's hear your thoughts. Underscore 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 underscore. Why does this matter? These stories aren't just about battles and victories. They're about courage, rivalries, and the decisions that shaped the greatest empire in history. And the best part? There's so much more to uncover. Underscore 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 underscore. Pompey the Great, the teenage butcher, turned titan. Imagine an ambitious young man from a wealthy provincial family, eager to prove himself in a Rome teeming with conflict and intrigue. That was Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus, or simply Pompey the Great. He entered history as a military prodigy and went on to become one of the most powerful men in the Roman Republic. Pompey kicked off his career with a bang. In 83 BC, he gathered troops on his own to help Sulla, a legendary general, reclaim Rome from Marius' followers. His courage and ruthlessness earned him the nickname, Teenage Butcher. Not exactly a friendly title, but it showed how quickly he stood out. But it was in 67 BC that Pompey achieved one of the most remarkable feats of his career. Rome faced a dire problem. Pirates were terrorizing the Mediterranean, attacking ships that carried vital supplies, like wheat, to the city. Starvation loomed, and the people were desperate. Pompey was chosen to fix it. He was given an army of 120,000 soldiers and a fleet of 500 ships. Instead of chasing pirates chaotically, Pompey used his strategic genius. He divided the Mediterranean into 12 zones, attacking all of them simultaneously. The result? In just 3 months, the seas were cleared, and the pirates were crushed. This victory cemented Pompey as a hero of Rome. Pompey was also a key player in the First Triumvirate, a political alliance with Julius Caesar and Crassus. He even married Julia, Caesar's daughter, to strengthen their bond. But fate had other plans. When Julia died in 54 BC, the friendship between Pompey and Caesar turned into a rivalry. They clashed in a civil war, and Pompey was defeated. Fleeing to Egypt, he met a tragic end. He was assassinated, abruptly ending his life and career. Julius Caesar, the conqueror who changed everything. If there's one name everyone knows when it comes to Rome, it's Julius Caesar. And for good reason. Caesar was a charismatic leader, a brilliant strategist, and, above all, a man who knew how to conquer both territories and hearts. Caesar's rise to power began with his conquest of Gaul, modern-day France. Not only did he defeat the Gauls, but he also expanded Roman territory all the way to the English Channel. And he didn't stop there. He built a bridge over the Rhine River, a groundbreaking feat at the time, and led the first Roman invasion of Britain. These achievements didn't just grow Rome's empire, they made Caesar the most feared and respected general of the Republic. But with great power comes great enemies. Caesar's growing influence overshadowed both Pompey and the Senate. When Pompey accused Caesar of treason and ordered him to disband his army, Caesar made a historic choice. In 49 BC, he crossed the Rubicon with his troops, declaring the famous phrase, "Alia iacta est," the die is cast. This act sparked a civil war. Here's your text translated into American English with cultural references, a conversational tone, and proper punctuation. Caesar, from victory to betrayal. Caesar emerged victorious and became the absolute dictator of Rome. During his rule, he introduced reforms that changed history forever. He created a new calendar, the Julian calendar, launched massive construction projects, and even put his image on coins, a groundbreaking move at the time. But absolute power came with its challenges. In 44 BC, a group of senators conspired against him, leading to one of the most infamous betrayals in history. Caesar's assassination marked the beginning of the end for the Roman Republic. Mark Antony, the passionate general. Next, we have Mark Antony, one of Rome's greatest generals and perhaps its most controversial. He started as one of Julius Caesar's most trusted officers, serving with him on multiple campaigns, including in Egypt. After Caesar's assassination, Antony rose as one of the most influential figures in Rome. To stabilize the chaos following Caesar's death, Antony allied with Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, and Lepidus to form the Second Triumvirate. They divided the empire. Antony ruled the east, Octavian took the west, and Lepidus governed Africa. It was in the east that Antony met Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. And here, the story takes an epic turn. Antony and Cleopatra formed not just a political alliance but also a romantic one. Despite being married to Octavia, Octavian's sister, Antony chose Cleopatra as his partner. This decision was seen as a betrayal in Rome, especially by Octavian. The conflict between Antony and Octavian culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Antony and Cleopatra's forces were defeated, and the pair fled to Egypt. Surrounded and with no hope of victory, they chose a tragic end, taking their own lives. Their deaths closed the chapter on one of antiquity's most iconic love stories. Mark Antony and Cleopatra, the love that shaped Rome's destiny. Imagine a union of power and passion. That's exactly what happened between Mark Antony, one of Rome's greatest generals, and Cleopatra, the legendary Queen of Egypt. Antony was known for his bravery on the battlefield and his charismatic personality. Cleopatra, on the other hand, was far more than just a beautiful queen. She was intelligent, strategic, and fiercely determined to protect Egypt. The two met and formed a political and romantic alliance that shook Rome to its core. Together, they ruled a vast region of the empire and dreamed of an even greater future. But on the other side stood Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew, determined to consolidate his power. He saw Antony and Cleopatra's alliance as a direct threat. The clash came to a head in the famous Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Picture hundreds of ships, a massive fleet, clashing on the waters of the Mediterranean. Despite their strength, Antony's forces were defeated, and he and Cleopatra fled to Egypt. With no way out, they chose to die together rather than face capture. It was a tragic end to one of history's most famous couples and marked the rise of Octavian as Rome's first emperor, Augustus. Underscore 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 underscore. Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, the genius behind Augustus. Now let me introduce you to Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, the man who worked behind the scenes to ensure Octavian Augustus' success. Agrippa and Octavian had been inseparable since their youth. They fought side by side as officers in the Battle of Munda in 45 BC, and after Caesar's assassination, Agrippa stayed loyal to Octavian, helping him cement his position as Caesar's heir. Agrippa wasn't just a skilled general, he was a brilliant strategist. He commanded Rome's navy in key battles, including the fight against Sextus Pompey, who threatened Rome's grain supply. To secure victory, Agrippa built the Portus Julius, an impressive complex connecting lakes to the sea, safeguarding Rome's fleet and enabling strategic attacks. Under his command, Rome's navy defeated Sextus Pompey, ensuring the city's food supply and power. But Agrippa was more than just a war hero. He transformed Rome itself. He oversaw the construction of aqueducts, like the famous Aqua Marcia, bringing clean water to parts of the city that had none. He also helped organize festivals and rebuilt streets and buildings, making Rome a better place to live. When Augustus famously said, "I found a city of bricks and left it a city of marble," he was, in part, talking about Agrippa's work. Agrippa was the silent genius behind Rome's greatest emperor. Germanicus, the hero of Germania. Finally, let's talk about Germanicus, the general who faced some of the toughest challenges on the empire's frontiers. A member of the powerful Julio-Claudian dynasty, Germanicus earned his name through his remarkable victories against the Germanic tribes. Here's the translated text into American English, incorporating cultural nuances, a conversational tone, and proper punctuation. In 14 AD, after Augustus' death, Germanicus was appointed commander of the legions in Germania. His first challenge: a rebellion among his own soldiers. Picture this, being in charge of 8 legions, all armed, all dangerous, and all on the brink of mutiny. But Germanicus restored order, not just with force, but with intelligence and leadership. He listened to their grievances, promised reforms, and proved he was a leader worth following. After pacifying the legions, Germanicus marched to the Teutoburg Forest, where years earlier, Rome had suffered one of its worst defeats in history. He found the bones of the fallen Roman soldiers and ordered them to be buried with full honors, a profound gesture of respect for those who had died serving Rome. But Germanicus didn't stop there. He led a series of brilliant campaigns against the Germanic tribes, securing key victories and strengthening the empire's borders. He was so admired that many believed he would become the next emperor. Sadly, his life was cut short, but his legacy as one of Rome's greatest generals endures to this day. Get ready to meet 3 legendary generals who shaped Rome's destiny. These stories are so epic, you won't want to blink, because every detail matters. Let's dive into the incredible journeys of Germanicus, Agricola, and Drusus, 3 heroes whose achievements changed the course of history. And here's a heads up, the ending includes a detail few people know, and it will leave you speechless. Germanicus, the hero who avenged Rome. Imagine a general who didn't just win battles but avenged one of Rome's greatest defeats. That was Germanicus, the man who brought justice to the legions lost in the infamous Teutoburg Forest. In 16 AD, Germanicus faced an alliance of Germanic tribes in the Battle of the Weser River. The odds were stacked against him, the tribes had superior numbers and knew the terrain. But Germanicus, with his brilliant strategic mind, turned the tide. He led the Roman army in a perfectly executed ambush, resulting in thousands of enemy casualties while Roman losses were minimal. It was a crushing blow to Rome's enemies. And he wasn't done. Germanicus returned to the Teutoburg Forest, where years earlier, thousands of Roman soldiers had fallen. There, he led a powerful symbolic act. He buried the bones of the fallen legionnaires, honoring their memory and proving that Rome never forgets its heroes. This act deeply moved his soldiers and reinforced their loyalty. Germanicus wasn't just a general, he was the heart of the legions. Did you enjoy this story? Leave a like and help keep Rome's legacy alive. Agricola, the man who conquered Britain. Now imagine conquering not just a part, but the entirety of Britain. That's exactly what Agricola did. Sent by Emperor Vespasian to lead Roman forces on the island, Agricola transformed Britain into the empire's newest territory with sheer determination and strategic brilliance. Agricola wasn't just a warrior, he was a master planner. He built an impressive network of 1,300 miles of roads and over 60 forts, ensuring Rome had total control of the region. He even led his troops into northern Scotland, reaching areas no Roman general had dared to conquer before. But Agricola's ambitions went beyond military dominance. He introduced Roman culture to Britain, encouraging local communities to build cities in the Roman style and educating the sons of native nobility in Roman customs. He even ordered his fleet to explore the island's northern coast, confirming for the first time that Britain was, indeed, an island. Despite his success, Agricola was recalled to Rome in 85 AD. Why? Rumor has it Emperor Domitian grew jealous of his achievements and feared his growing fame. But by then, Agricola's mark on history was already made. He transformed Britain and solidified Rome's power in the region. Drusus, the young military genius. Now let's talk about Drusus, also known as Drusus the Elder, a general who kickstarted Rome's major campaigns in Germania. Imagine being in your early 20s, leading entire armies against fierce tribes, and winning. Drusus began his career in 12 BC, leading a brilliant campaign in Germania. He didn't just defeat powerful tribes like the Batavians and the Frisians, he also navigated the North Sea, engaging in naval battles, a feat few Roman generals had ever accomplished. He was the first to lead Roman forces as far as the Weser and Elbe rivers, expanding the empire's borders further than anyone before him. But what makes Drusus even more remarkable was his relentless determination. In 9 BC, returning from yet another victorious campaign, he suffered a tragic accident. He fell from his horse and was gravely injured. Even then, he continued leading his men for weeks before succumbing to his injuries. He was just 29 years old, but his legacy was so profound that a monument, the Drusus Stone, was erected in his honor. His family was even granted the honorary title Germanicus, which would be passed down for generations. The grand finale, which story will stay with you? These three generals, Germanicus, Agricola, and Drusus, show us how courage, strategy, and determination can change the world. They didn't just conquer territories, they earned the respect of their men and carved their names into the pages of history.